Hi everyone, this is Professor H. Rahman from Agricultural and Food Engineering Department at Kharagpur. I welcome you all to this NPTEL course on traction engineering. This is lecture 23rd, where I will try to compare the performance of a single tire with dual tires. Means the concept which will be covered is how to compare. On what basis you should compare? Should you go for comparing tractive efficiency, or should you go for comparing coefficient of traction, or should you go for comparing rolling resistance? So, we will discuss in detail. Usually rolling resistance, coefficient of traction, both are dependent on a number called mobility number. If you are concentrating on Brix's equation, then there is a number called mobility number, which combines both soil parameters, wheel parameters, and the weight which is coming on the tire. So, this is expressed as CIBD by W into 1 plus 5 del by H by 1 plus 3B by D. Since rolling resistance is a function of mobility number, coefficient of traction is also a function of mobility number, and of course, tractive efficiency, which is the ratio of coefficient of traction to coefficient of gross traction. So, that is also a function of mobility number. Hence, instead of calculating rolling resistance or calculating coefficient of traction or calculating tractive efficiency, what we have to do is simply we have to calculate the mobility number and then compare the mobility number of a single tire with a dual tire. So, that is good enough to indicate that which tire is good or bad. That means higher the mobility number, better will be the performance. So, a tire having higher mobility number will give you better performance. So, what I will do is I will take an example in the sense I will take a single tire and then I will take two tires of same dimension. That means, if a single tire, if I took, so this is having width B and diameter D, I will take a dual tire. So, that means two tires will be there. So, obviously, their dimension will change. So, this is B1, this is B1. So, summation of B1 plus B1 should be equal to B, and diameter will remain same. Okay. So, now I try to find it, find the mobility number. This is denoted as single tire, this is dual tires. Here we are maintaining the dimension same. That means, B1 plus twice B1 will be equal to B, and diameter for single will be equal to diameter of dual. So, the weight which is coming on a single wheel tire, if it is W, so here it will be W1, W by 2, W by 2. That means, W will be shared by the two tires. So, only the weight will change. Okay. So, now for finding out the mobility number of a single tire, so that will be equal to CI BN single tire CIBD over W 1 plus 5 del by H by 1 plus 3 B by D. Now, for mobility number of dual tires, it will be CI B will be equal to twice B1, or you can say you can find out mobility number of one tire, then you multiply it with 2, that is also possible. B1 into D by, so this d which I have written in small, that is capital D, yeah? That is diameter, capital D. So C1 BD by W by 2 into 1 plus 5 del by H, assuming that the deflection to height ratio remains same for both the tires, 3B1 by D. Now total dual will be equal to 2. So now if I want to find out which one is better, then I can take the ratio BNS by BN dual. So obviously this will be CI BD by W into 1 plus 5 del by H by 1 plus 3 B by D. So this divided by twice of CI B1 D by W by 2 into 1 plus 5 del by H by 1 plus 3 B by B1 by D. So now if you simplify this one, so this will cancel out. Now this will be 4W, so WW will cancel out. So CI will cancel because we are operating in the same soil, and D will also cancel out. So what is remaining is B by 4B1, okay, into 1 plus 3B1 by D divided by 1 plus 3B by D. So this ratio, if it is lesser than 1, that means dual is performing better than the single tire. If this ratio is higher than 1, that means single tire is performing better than the dual tires. This is the case when the tire dimensions are remaining same. Whatever dimensions we followed for single tire, same dimensions we are following for dual tire. That means the combined width will be equal to the width of the single tire. So if you look at the ratio here, obviously we are dividing with a higher number in the denominator, so it will be always lesser than 1. This ratio is always lesser than 1. That means dual is better than, dual tires are better than single tire if same dimensions as that of single tire is maintained for dual tires. Now the other extreme case is when the dimensions are different. So somebody selects a 13.628 tire and somebody wants to use dual tires of different dimensions. Maybe diameter is less, width will be more. So then we have to find out which diameter will give you better performance. Okay. So again we'll try to draw a single tire. So this is having width B1, diameter D1, and the duals will have some, I'll take some smaller ones. So this is D2, B2, B2, D2. That means summation of B1 plus B2, B2 plus B2 is not equal to B1. Okay. Now D2 is not equal to D1. This is the condition. In the first case, we decided that twice B2 will be equal to B1 and D remains same. But in this case, we will decide in a different way. Okay. Now again, we will take the help of Brix's number. So Bix's number, mobility number for single tire will be equal to mobility number of single tire will be equal to CIB 1 D1 by W. Assuming that weight is acting same in both the tires, whether it is single, whether it is dual. So that means W1 W by 2 will be shared by one tire. Okay. Now this will be equal to C1 B1 D1 by W 1 plus 5 del by H by 1 plus 3 B1 by D1. Now for dual, mobility number will be CI B2 D2 by W by 2 into 1 plus 5 del by H 1 plus 3 B2 by D2. Now if I want to find out the ratio BNS BNW, then again CI B1 D1 by W into 1 plus 5 del by H by 1 plus 3 B1 D1 divided by CI B2 D2 by W by 2, that means twice CI B2 D2 by W. Okay. Now this dual tire, since there are two tires, this mobility number is to be multiplied with 2. Okay. So that means here it will become 4 CI B2 D2 by W into 1 plus 5 del by H divided by 1 plus 3 B2 by D2. So if I simplify further, so I can, since they are operating in the same cell condition, when we try to compare and assuming that the del by H ratio is remaining same for both the cases, then this can be simplified as B1 D1 by B2 D2 4 B2 D2, okay, into this side will cancel out. So into 1 plus 3 B2 by D2 by 1 plus 3 B1 by D1. If you want that BNS should be greater than BND, that means mobility number of tire 1 is to be greater than the mobility number of dual tires, then this component, this ratio should be greater than B1 D1 by 4 B2 D2 should be greater than 1 plus 3 B1 by D1 by 1 plus 3 B2 by D2. If this condition is satisfied, then single will be better than the dual wheel. If this is not satisfied, that means B1 by D1 is lesser than 4 B2 by 4 B2 D2, then the duals are better than the single tire. If duals are better, or if you want that dual tire should behave should perform in a better way, then what should be the diameter for a given section width? So to do that exercise, I will show you an example. Where it will be clear how to find out the diameter which is required to make the dual tires perform better than the single tire. Now I have taken the mobility number ratio on the y axis, then I varied the diameter of dual tires starting from, that means the B2 value I varied from 0.1 to 2, is a good number. Okay, these are in meter. Now section width I have taken initially say 0.2, suppose initially I have taken 0.2. The corresponding to this I try to find out for different diameters. Okay. Section width I have varied from 0.2 to 0.4. Two section width I have taken, and diameter D2 I have varied from say 0.7 meter to 2 meter. So initially I took B2 as 0.2, then I tried change the value of D2 and found out what is the BN dual. Okay. Now take the ratio from the single, the derivations which I derived for single tire. Okay. So if the ratio whatever I found, I try to plot it for different values of diameter. For a section width of 0.2, I varied 0.8, 1, 1.2 like that. Then I try to plot it. So this is for section width 0.2 meter. Similar exercise I carried out for B2 is equal to 0.4 meter. So and then I varied the diameter from 0.7 to 1.2, and then I got this line. So if duals are to be equal to single tires, then the ratio is 1. So that is the minimum thing. So I draw a horizontal line here. So wherever it touches the two graphs, one is for 0.4 meter, the other one is for 0.2 meter. So there I draw two verticals to touch the x-axis. That means it will indicate what should be the minimum diameter required, so that the dual will behave like a single tire. That means performance of dual tires will be equal to the single tire. So what I observed here is, for a section width of 0.4 meter, the diameter is around 1.1 meter, and for a section width of 0.2 meter, the diameter is around 1.3. So diameter should be around 1.3. So this is the minimum diameter. So you have to have a diameter more than this, then only the dual wheel will perform better than the single wheel. So this is how we are going to decide the dimensions of dual tires if we are interested to replace the single tires. Okay. So the simplest way of calculating this is, you don't have to compare the rolling resistance, or you don't have to compare the coefficient of traction, or you don't have to compare the tractive efficiency. All these three parameters, they are strongly dependent on mobility number if you are using mobility Brixius equation for evaluating its performance. Hence, instead of calculating all those values, we just compare the mobility number. That is sufficient to compare the performance. In brief, I tried to compare the performance of single tire with dual tires when they are of same dimension. That means the diameter and width of single tire is equal to diameter and width of dual tires. Then I varied the diameter and width of dual tires. They are not same as single tires. So for both the cases, I have given the expressions. Then in the second thing, I try to find out what should be the minimum diameter if you are changing a single tire to dual tires. So for different section widths, I have found out, I have plotted, and that gives you an idea how to compare the performance of a dual tire with a single tire. So you can refer some of these books that will help you further to calculate this performance. Thank you.